If you are one of those people that suffer from acid reflux, then you're probably wondering, well, what is it that is safe for me to eat? And today, that's what I'm going to go into in this video. So before I get into the best foods that are usually tolerated for treating acid reflux, I just want to bring to attention that the timing of taking apple cider vinegar can be a really important missed information. I found this out in clinic recently with one of my patients. So she'd been taking apple cider vinegar, and it wasn't until the end of the consult that I found out how much she'd been taking and that she was actually taking it after the meals. One of the most important things to know from today's video is that you want to take the apple cider vinegar either just before or at the beginning of your meal, because that's when your stomach acid should be strongest. If you take it after, it could actually be making reflux worse. So that's an important little thing. And also only 1 tablespoon. It should be more than enough for most people to experiment with, because if you have too much, it's quite irritating for that inflamed intestinal lining. So just to be aware of that. The other little tips before I get into the foods are to avoid eating large meals. So when we have a huge amount of food and we eat too quickly and we're not chewing our food, this can really impact our body's ability to keep up with what is the natural process for releasing stomach acid and then digestive enzymes further down the line in the small intestine. So keep that aware of that, and also avoid lying down after you've been eating. Something that obviously maybe pregnant women could be suffering with. They might be tired, so they'll go lay down after a meal. We really don't want to be doing that, because you want to be able to have about 2 to 3 hours gap between laying down and eating your meal. Some people with really severe reflux actually have to put a pillow behind their head, and sit upright before they go to sleep. But that's not obviously treating what is the underlying cause of the reflux. Obviously, being overweight is going to make that pressure between the stomach acid and the esophagus worse. So ideally, helping to lose weight if you are carrying excess body fat can be an impact towards reflux. Something else that I see working with really active people is eating too soon, or exercising, too soon after they've eaten. So our body's not designed to go into fight and flight and stress response, which is what exercise is, straight after we've finished a meal. So please allow 30 to 60 minutes after a meal or a snack, sometimes 2 hours after a larger meal, because otherwise you're, again, fighting what should be a natural relaxation response for the body to digest. Another one that sometimes people aren't aware of is stressful triggers around us, whether it be stressful music, stressful people for us, anything that triggers our stress response. If we are trying to swallow, this is in Ayurvedic principles, it's about digesting life and being able to start that response is so just removing yourself from whatever you can that's creating that stress and allowing your digestion to actually flow downwards so it's not upward moving energy. Another one before the foods I touch on today is going to be avoid tight-fitting clothing, especially around your stomach area, because that puts pressure, and anytime you've got pressure, again, that flow and that relaxation response isn't working as well as it should be. Alrighty, now this is what you've been waiting for, the foods that you can usually eat to keep your body nourished while trying to work on the underlying cause of reflux or heartburn. Foods that are usually low histamine are going to be much better tolerated. Histamine is naturally produced compound in the body, and it's a bit like what I'm often saying is, how full is your cup? So it's not that high histamine foods have to be out forever, but if your chronically high histamine levels aren't being cleared, or you've just got too much of these histamine releasing foods coming in, and I'll go into what those are, then you may benefit from avoiding them temporarily to reduce your cup. So citrus fruits, vinegars, that's not apple cider vinegar, that's the only one that is low histamine. And aged foods, a lot of gluten-based foods are also high histamine. The grains, spicy foods, chilies, tomatoes, onions. If you do tolerate tomatoes at all or onions, it's usually better cooked. And I encourage that more for my patients anyway, to having mostly cooked foods because it's easier to digest, and especially if there's a lot of inflammation, it's going to be more soothing rather than having that irritant like constantly inflaming that area. Carbonated drinks can really aggravate histamine as well, and so can coffee, alcohol, and really heavy processed foods as well. I'm just going to check on my little list to see if there's any other major ones that I've forgotten. Yeah, those aged foods, so aged cheeses, aged or tinned fish, things that if your cup's already pretty full with histamine, these just can make it worse. So the foods to focus on: fresh, cooked, green leafy vegetables, fresh, unprocessed fruits as well can be okay. Depends on not those citrus ones though. We've got usually proteins, unless they're like very old proteins. So those ones that are on sale and they're, due, the best before date is today, they're going to be higher in histamine. So buying more fresh meats, fresh fish is going to be better. The ones that are also safe is your fats. So olive oil, coconut cream, coconut butter, nut butters. They're going to be generally safe, and they'll also be soothing for that pipe as well. The gluten-free grains that are low histamine are going to be rice, quinoa, and buckwheat. They're the ones that are most safe. And just, like making sure that even nuts, so an excessive amount of nuts that aren't soaked can be more high histamine releasing foods than what maybe your seeds. So pumpkin seeds, hemp seeds, chia seeds, and flax seeds would be the best choices there. So I hope this has helped, and just bringing awareness to these things. I know I get a lot of questions about dairy. People love their cheeses sometimes. Occasionally the goat's cheese or the sheep's cheese are better tolerated than regular cow's milk or cow's cheese. Because they are going to be higher histamine releasing foods and inflammatory because of the casein protein. So whey protein can be tolerated well by some of my patients though. So I hope you've enjoyed these little tips, and I really hope you get better breathing and better flow in your digestion through these information. Please like and subscribe to our channel. We'll be bringing more useful tips and helping nature to heal your body. Thanks.